find some of the most wonderful things. my intuition told me stop at these little free libraries they have everywhere. I don't often, because I have such a huge book collection already, and many of them just like stuck in boxes. You know, I've slowly been going through some of them. I gotta get rid of some of that stuff, but just had the thought to stop over here for a minute and found some real freaking gems. I'm just starting to read again after years, and it's crazy because books have always been a huge part of my life. And when my PTSD and immune system collapse stuff was really bad a couple of years ago, like 2022 and 23, and the ADD. I didn't even know I had ADD back then until like later in that following year. But I've never been treated my whole life. I'm 47 now. Never been treated until like 2 years ago. and a lot of that I know now is just freaking PTSD stuff underneath. Because as I've been healing from it, so many of those old patterns they're not coming back online. The frantic having to do and be busy all the time, it's healing. But being able to read books again is such a gift, because towards, in the bottom of that cycle, when I was in the depth of it, I could barely even read like a page out of a book. I had a bunch of books. I've always had a bunch of books. I usually have like one or two spiritual books, and then what I'm reading for like nonfiction, personal development, a business book or two. I usually have like 5 or 7. In the past, at least, I had like 5 or 7 different books, and like actually processing, like comprehending all the stuff and retaining it. But in the middle of that season, I got to where I couldn't read a page. I couldn't read a freaking page out of a book. I would just I would be looking at the words of a paragraph over and over and over and over and over. Sometimes for like an hour. I got to where I just wasn't even opening the books then. But again, I didn't even know about PTSD or ADHD. I'd never been diagnosed or anything at that point. So it's crazy. It's crazy town. I was talking about music a few weeks ago, and tapping back into your gifts, like books and learning and literature was huge for mine. My first degree was in English and literature. So getting back into that and reading some books on spirituality, and then just finding the most amazing little gifts at these free libraries and places. Like, the more you listen to the divine, the intuition and the guidance. Sorry, it's probably pretty loud right here. There's a lot of cars going by. God or whatever you want to call it leads us into some pretty miraculous freaking things. Love you guys.